Big news coming out of Allen Park. Shelia Hamp addresses the media in an impromptu performance. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome to Detroit Lions Syndicate. If this is your first time here, we talk all things about the Detroit Lions. Whether the season is 5-1 or 1-5, it's what we do. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. We did hit 6K, onwards and upwards to 7K. So I would appreciate a subscription. Up until about an hour ago, the biggest news coming out of Allen Park was the people that we brought in for a workout. We brought in some people, signed an additional person to the practice squad, and we also got a word from Dan Campbell today that Jameson Williams was at least a month out, which means that we should see him be cleared for practice if he's going to play by Thanksgiving, which would be around that month timetable. He should be cleared to practice within the next week or two. So once that practice window is open, that he is cleared to practice, the Lions have 21 days to add him to the active roster or put him on season-ending IR. Now, here is the biggest news of the day. A lot of you have been seeing this coming. You said that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were not going anywhere for the foreseeable future, and Shelia Hamp Ford did something today. She showed up unannounced at Allen Park during practice and was swarmed by the media and decided to address the media and talk to them and us as fans. Check out what she had to say. This is courtesy of the Detroit Lions YouTube channel.
Just wanted to follow through with, what I said initially, that I would be open and honest and available for you guys. So here I am. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, but I just wanted to open with a couple comments. And, I know this is difficult. Our rebuild is hard, but we really believe in our process. We really believe we're going to turn this thing around the right way through the draft. It requires patience. It's frustrating. Am I frustrated? Absolutely. Are the fans frustrated? Absolutely. Are you guys frustrated? But I think we really are making progress. You've seen it. It's just, this was a huge tear down and then turn around, and we're only a third of the way through the season. We've got 11 more games to go. So I just don't want everyone to push the panic button and give up the ship, because I think we've got the right people in place to pull this off. And I truly believe that. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe it. So with that, if you guys have some questions for me, I'm happy to answer a few things. And
obviously the wins aren't what they want, but what are the positives that you
the positives are the way we started the season with the offense. Obviously, I think we've got to get back to that. And in any turnaround, there's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be like this. Boy, I wish it were. That'd be simple, but it's not. There's going to be fluctuations. And the other thing is, you all well know our team is very young, and that's not an excuse. That's a fact. And, young players are going to make mistakes. So we've had some key mistakes that have cost us games. Hopefully we're not going to repeat those. Hopefully we learn, but it is a process. And, that's what it is. It's hard, and it's really hard to stay disciplined. No one hates losing more than I do, than my family does. But, it's just, we got to sort of got through it.
What feels different about
Pardon me?
What feels different about this time? You guys have went through several rebuilds, but what gives you confidence that?
Well, this I would say was like a tear down and then a rebuild. We really had to take it down to the ground level. And it's been not only on the football side, but across the organization. We've put in a lot of new talent at the top. I really believe in the top leadership in this organization, and I think we've got the people to do it, to carry this out. I think that's what's different.
Why are you talking right now, and how long does this patience last? I think that's what people know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Patience lasts, as I say, we've got a long way to go in this season. I wanted to talk to you guys because I know, really talking to you, talking to the fans, and, everyone's frustrated. I'm frustrated, but again, I really believe in what we've got and what we're going to be. It just takes time.
Sheila,
Teams
why are you
turn things
confident
around.
that Dan Campbell is still the right coach for this operation right now when you look around the league and you see other rebuilds, with more success at this point?
Yes, well, what I really have confidence in is the process we went through in the first place when we hired Brad and Dan. It was extremely thorough, and we really believe we've come up with the right people. So, I can't comment on other teams' rosters or what they had in the first place. All I know is what we had and where we're going.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Clear,
Thank you.
Neither one of them, their jobs are in jeopardy no matter what happens this season. Is that part of why you're doing
I
this?
believe in the leadership.
And there you have it. The last statement was most telling when Dave Burkett, shout out to Dave Burkett, man, because he comes through with some rock hard questions. The guy was like, all right, that's it, everybody. And he just came through with that last question. No matter what happens this year, their jobs are in jeopardy. And Sheila said, I believe in the leadership. Now, there is a lot to break down here, but we are already sitting over 5 minutes, and I don't want to go too long. But it was a couple points that really stood out to me. That last one was most telling. But another thing, too, is she said that we had to tear the team down. So indirectly, in my opinion, if you read between the lines, what she's saying is that hiring Matt Patricia was a mistake. And the 2.5 years we gave him to get his team and build the Patriot way was a mistake. And you had to essentially tear down his team. And I know a lot of you might disagree with me in the comment section, but that's okay because that's why we're here. I think she said also firing Jim Caldwell was a mistake. Now, you can look at it, firing him was the right move, but hiring Matt Patricia wasn't. But until we start winning games, you really can't. You have no merit to base that on. This man won games. Matt Patricia hasn't. And right now, Dan Campbell is 4-18-1. So you can say what you want to about Jim Caldwell, but the legend grows with every single loss that the Detroit Lions keep piling up. So those were two big things that I heard from this press conference today. Another thing is she said that even from the top, she believes in this organization. I was one of the people, I'm not going to lie, I was one of the people that think that he was probably safe this year, but that the third year he was going to be under intense scrutiny to win. And right now, Dan Campbell just took a huge, he just took a woosah side knowing that his job is not only safe this year, but for the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future. So everybody, including myself, that was starting to put a timetable on Brad Holmes and more specifically Dan Campbell, we got to wrap it up. Throw that clock in the trash because this man ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And a lot of you in the comment section have been saying that. Now, the contract of what they gave them, to me, is irrelevant. People get fired. Jim Caldwell, we were still paying him. Matt Patricia, we're still paying him. So money is not an object to these guys. So the length of the contract does not matter when it comes to whether they get fired or not. It's the product they put in the field. But that most telling sign, I believe in our leadership. Was she talking about the leadership at the top? Was she talking about all of it, including Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes? So that means that Dan Campbell can coach for the rest of this year without any inkling of being fired. Now, she did say that stuff has to improve, and she expects it to improve, that she's frustrated and that we're frustrated. Now, I'm going to say something a bit controversial here, that Sheila Hamp did something she didn't have to do. She came out middle of the season and she addressed the media because the media is the connection to the fans, and she voiced her frustration. Now, I know a lot of you guys want the Fords to sell the team. If they sold the team, there is a possibility the Detroit Lions could be moved out. I don't see a new owner outside of maybe the guy who owns Tom Gores or whatever, owns the Pistons, to keep this team in the city. So that's one thing. I think that's the biggest thing we would have to worry about. The question I have for you is, would you still root for them if they were the Idaho Potatoes? That's a question you have to ask yourself. To me personally, this was huge news. This was huge. I know you're like, man, bro, he was going to be around. He never was going anywhere. But you have to say that 4-18-1, that's terrible. But her telling that they ripped it down to the studs, the foundation was built in year one. Now they're starting to build on that foundation. Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams. We've got potentially a franchise quarterback waiting in the wings. But that is a whole video for a whole nother day. So now we're building that foundation. The siding isn't on. The bathroom's not in. They're doing that. So that tells me that this team, this franchise, this regime has at least until year 4 before the hot seat is even turned on, right? Now, Dan Campbell has to be better, but these guys are settled. So if you are a MCDC lover, then rejoice because he is going to be around for the foreseeable future. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out, man, Syndicate Sports Detroit. We go live over there Monday through Friday. Our show. We're going to start taking call-ins soon. We had a fantastic conversation about this very topic. We could have went all day, but make sure y'all check it out, man. Trying to give you the best content possible. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell aren't going anywhere anytime soon. And as always, go Lions.